of course, the Dallas Cowboys are not able to beat the top dog and the Philadelphia Eagles. Of course, that's not going to happen. And being a Giants fan, it's been a long, tough go here. Behind me, I have all Eagles season ticket holders kind of in the household and all around me. And it's brutal, man. I'm frustrated with the Eagles winning. I've had enough of it, honestly, and they're just on another level, and their fans aren't even really satisfied. They always find problems with the team, and Hurts is a very accurate quarterback, and Hurts can run, and you can't seem to really stop him or A.J. Brown or Devontae Smith, and can't seem to ever get pressure on him, and can't seem to give him any adversity in the pocket. And Michael Parsons and the Dallas Cowboys, they were able to throw the ball, but defensively they were shaky today. And then when they had a chance to backdoor the Eagles and win the game late, they never really made the plays. They were always short of the goal line or always making mistakes and being a little tentative instead of just taking it. And the Cowboys are kind of hoping to win, and the Eagles, expect the Cowboys to mess up, and that's what happens. And I think Prescott's playing at a better level, actually. I might have been wrong on that. Like, this McCarthy-Schottenheimer offense is really serving him well, and he's playing, very organized and playing on time, and played well. He threw for over 330 yards, and if the defense is a little bit better and they clean things up, they can win. So they didn't get blown out. They didn't no-show like in the 49ers game. So they're making progress, but is this team ever going to go on the road? And if you can't run the football effectively, if you can't guard against the Eagles and A.J. Brown, are you ever going to win, a game on the road in the playoffs if you can't really run the football and can't really show off your physicality on the road? So they're going to have to go on the road. I don't think they're catching the Eagles. I don't think they're catching the 49ers. The Lions have a really good record. And if you can't win your own division, you ain't going to be hosting any games at home. So is this Cowboys team going to really be a team that's going to win 4 games? Are they going to go on? Are they going to win in January and then the one in February? I think that they actually, believe it or not, the way Dak is playing right now, they actually have the ability to do it. The ability of Ferguson, but are the Eagles going to be beaten? I mean, you got to get to Hurts. You got to stop the running game. You got to force some 3-and-outs. You got to get around Lane Johnson. You got to force Kelsey and them in the middle of the field to give up something, and that's what you got to do. And in Dallas, they can actually get to Hurts and force him to have a bad game. You got to force the Eagles to have a bad offensive game, and you got to be there and blow them out consistently, and they really haven't even gotten blown out. Only the Saints were able to do it against Gardner Minshew. That's the only time the Eagles in 2 years have gotten, beaten soundly. The Jets game and the Washington Redskins game last year, the Eagles just made mistakes and self-imploded, and then they barely lost. But when else are you going to see the Eagles lose? I mean, it's a dominant team. Just because they didn't play well in the second half in Arizona in the Super Bowl doesn't mean that they weren't the best team last year. I just thought that Kansas City kind of had a really good half on them, and they were right there. And it's very frustrating because the Eagles right now, they just seem to be an unstoppable force in the NFC. And who's going to really challenge the Philadelphia Eagles in the NFC? I don't think Brock Purdy is dynamic enough on offense. I think he's going to get sacked. I mean, I don't think Prescott did the best that I've seen anybody do against this Eagles defense all year. And he still only could put up like 23 points of offense. Like, is somebody going to put up 35 points? Is somebody going to play a complete game? I mean, the Chiefs have a very good chance to do it with that defense on Sunday Night Football. But the problem is the Eagles are always at home for all these big games, except for the Cowboys. And I don't think Seattle can compete with the Eagles. I think the Eagles are a more talented team than Seattle. So There you go. The Eagles are probably going to go 13-3, and then they'll have 2 playoff games, and then they're going to be right in the Super Bowl again. It's a nightmare for Giants fans. The Giants are just pitiful. They are a pitiful shell of an organization. I don't think that I'd wish being a Giants fan on any kid. It's ridiculous. It's disgusting football every single year. Your season is done in late October. By the time it's Halloween, you're selling your tickets. Daniel Jones, when he's playing, is not that great. He gets injured every single year. Defense, predictably, after the Jets game where they left it all on the field, they quit today. And this football team's a mess. You got to get rid of Barkley and Jones. You might even have to get rid of Brian Dable and hire Ben Johnson and draft a new quarterback and just change it all. I mean, Joe Shane and Dable are not enough. You got to go back and you got to hire a new GM, and you got to hire and you got to go out there and get a new coach in Ben Johnson and draft Bo Nix. And that's the only way that the New York Giants are ever going to win anything of any substantial value, is if they draft a new quarterback and fire their head coach and fire everybody. Because this season is 2-7. They are uncompetitive. It's just a disgusting product to watch. I'm sick of it. Listen, I know it might be unfair, but I don't think that Dable is that great. I don't really see the light at the end of the tunnel. And just losing to an interim coach and a team on their third quarterback is just completely inept and embarrassing to lose by 25 today. It's just despicable.